Parliament president urges the UN to get involved in the Catalan conflict. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. Speaker Roger Torrent is at the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, where he met today with a senior UN Human Rights Council official. His aim was to denounce the Spanish judiciary preventing several pro-independence MPs from being sworn in what he described as a violation of fundamental rights. After the meeting, Torrent explained that he gathered sympathy for his claims. Here at Catalan News, we'll go through this trip, and we'll get you the latest of the judicial independence case with stops in Madrid, Brussels, and Berlin. Switzerland has become, in the past few weeks, one of the countries where the Catalan situation has had a higher impact. Deposed Catalan President Carles Puigdemont and other pro-independence leaders held some talks in Geneva in March, and two prosecuted politicians are seeking shelter from Spain's justice in this country. Today we learned that even the Swiss parliament has discussed the Catalan issue. This as the UN headquarters in Geneva hosted a high-ranking Catalan visit.
The Parliament Speaker is in Geneva to discuss the political standoff in Catalonia with United Nations officials. The trip comes some weeks after the UN called on Spain to respect the political rights of jailed leaders. This statement was not legally binding, but it came as a breath of fresh air for the pro-independence parties. They saw it as a validation of what they've been saying for months, that the imprisonment of pro-independence leaders is unfair. The head of the Catalan chamber met high-ranking officials of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. They discussed the prosecution of Catalan leaders, but also the chances of finding a political solution to the standoff.
En aquestes institucions internacionals en les quals nosaltres compartim aquesta preocupació per defensar la democràcia i per resoldre políticament la situació a Catalunya, més enllà de les opcions polítiques que legítimament pugui defensar cadascú.
The Speaker says more talks are likely to follow, but not everybody back home is happy with his trip, namely the leader of the main unionist party in Catalonia, Inés Arrimadas. Today she doubled down on accusations of partisanship.
I el Parlament de Catalunya és el Parlament de tots els catalans, no és el gabinet d'advocats del senyor Puigdemont, dels partits independentistes o l'instrument del separatisme.
There are 9 Catalan leaders in jail and 7 seeking refuge abroad. Also in Switzerland, the leader of a major pro-independence party is fighting an extradition order from Spain. The parliamentary committee closely examining the case today issued a warning. If the offences for which he is charged are found to be purely political, the extradition will be rejected.
Catalan politics also has one foot set in Berlin, where Carles Puigdemont is still waiting for a final decision on his extradition. Today, sources of the High Court of Schleswig-Holstein told Catalan News that an extradition for rebellion, ruled out so far, could still be considered, but only if new evidence is presented by Spain. While this process unfolds, Puigdemont has another issue on the table: the swearing-in of a new Catalan leader. The deposed president met with his parliamentary group in the German capital, and the outcome of this event is clear. For the time being, they won't propose a fourth candidate for president, after Spain's courts have blocked 3 MPs for the post. The candidacy Junts per Catalunya believes any of these 3 representatives, Puigdemont and 2 jailed MPs, are perfectly eligible.
Since the elections day, we are doing our best in order to establish a new government in Catalonia, but the Spanish justice and the Spanish state is denying the right of 3 different candidates. He's denying their political rights, even after the United Nations Committee for Human Rights recognized those political rights.
The Spanish Supreme Court is trying to extradite Puigdemont for rebellion as well as for misuse of public funds for the referendum preparations. Something far from being clear-cut, as Spain's finance minister has said several times that no public money was spent for the October 1st vote. Yet, today the Supreme Court judge asked the Spanish minister to prove that the Catalan government didn't spend anything on the referendum. It was a busy day in court because the same magistrate also presided over hearings for 3 more jailed ministers. As their imprisoned colleagues did earlier this week, all 3 harshly criticized the whole judicial system. One jailed official, Jordi Turull, even told the judge that he is clearly a political prisoner. Another front for the Supreme Court are the extradition cases open in Belgium. 3 more deposed ministers staying in this country will testify in a Brussels court on May 16th, after their extradition hearings were postponed today. The Belgian prosecutor requested more time to gather information from the Spanish authorities. Moving on now, this morning some activists did a performance in Barcelona in order to remember and to protest against the incessant deaths of refugees in the Mediterranean. The activists, member of the NGO Stop Mare Mortum, said that the migration routes have now become massive common graves. Therefore, they asked citizens to mobilize to denounce this situation and claimed that the current EU policy on the matter is literally killing people. The NGO members piled up around 200 life jackets provided by an NGO rescuing refugees in the Mediterranean, Proactiva Open Arms. Also in Barcelona, the Alimentaria Food and Drink Fair has reached day 3. Today in this event, we found out how companies are adapting to varying consumer preferences and needs. And we learned that there was more vegan food on the menu than before, which is convenient for the veggie lovers, but also lactose and gluten intolerant people. Let's have a look.
Once upon a time, hearing somebody proclaim they were vegan was as shocking as admitting to Satan worship at Sunday Mass. But vegan food has become more mainstream, even if it may still be frowned upon in some circles, mostly at barbecues. Its popularity has grown so much, in fact, that its presence at Alimentaria 2018 has grown noticeably. Among the thousands of products on display at this year's event, there was an increase in vegan-friendly foods, as well as more products for people with intolerances, including the rebranding of familiar products with a veggie twist. One childhood classic for many people in Catalonia is the chocolate milk drink Catalan, but because of its dairy contents, it used to be off-limits for vegans. For Catalan, catering to vegans was seen as a niche market opportunity.
Que hi ha una oportunitat de mercat, hi ha realment una tendència de consum i per això Catalan decideix llançar aquest nou producte.
And it doesn't end there for vegans looking for dairy substitutes. At the fair, a company called Citrus unveiled its vegan-friendly yogurt.
Lo que hacemos es desarrollamos una leche de avena y la fermentamos, sin adición de leche y de ningún tipo de aditivo de base láctea.
The company, Campofrio, traditionally a meat company, also decided to get on the bandwagon, unveiling its Vegalia range, which includes meatless fillets, as well as ham with no pig and hot dogs with no dead animal trimmings. Changing food habits has also seen a rise in gluten-free product consumption in anything from pretzels to pasta and all in between.
Como hay más clientes, más gente que disfrutan, entonces sí, por supuesto, el mercado está más amplio, la cantidad también, y por supuesto, los precios bajan.
So long gone are the days when veganism and gluten-free products was the realm of hippies. It's now seen as a healthy alternative to traditional foods. It can even be said that in an ever-homogenizing world, a city's cool factor is measured by the number of vegan restaurants within it. According to vegan directory Happy Cow, Barcelona has 165.
Still talking about gastronomy. One of the most well-known Catalan chefs, Carme Ruscalleda, has just announced an upcoming project. The initiative consists of opening a new restaurant abroad, although just for a short time. Ruscalleda, who amasses 7 Michelin stars in her 3 restaurants, did not reveal where exactly she will start this new initiative. Art has always offered a vehicle through which to make sense of the world today and to deal with the most difficult issues we face as a society. We take you to a new exhibit in Barcelona which aims to do just that.
What's the best way to live together as a society? A new exhibition in Barcelona attempts to tackle this question through various mediums. It's called Not Here, Not Anywhere, and it features visual artist Domènech attempting to answer one main question.
Són treballs que reflexionen sobre els diferents intents durant l'últim segle i mig, per dir-ho d'una manera, intents de construir formes de viure en comú.
Bringing together 20 works by the artist from the late 90s to the present, it touches on issues like public housing, the refugee crisis, memory and oblivion, as well as discrepancies between utopia and social reality. With this, the collection places focus on the crisis of modern times and its failures, shown through sculptures, installations, photographs, videos and interventions in a public space. Domènech's work has been featured worldwide, from the United States to Palestine to Japan. This Barcelona display runs until September the 11th at MACBA, Barcelona's Museum of Contemporary Art, and also the Mies van der Rohe Exhibition Pavilion. Not Here, Not Anywhere aims to help make sense of the world today and offer innovation, retrospect and even hope.
We've reached the end of our show today, and before we go, we leave you with some images of a crafts fair being held today in La Seu d'Urgell in the Catalan Pyrenees. It's a very special one, though, because all the products on offer have been produced by very young entrepreneurs. Enjoy, and see you tomorrow.